Welcome learners. Now let's see about web mining. Web mining is an application of data mining techniques to find information patterns from the web data. Web mining helps to improve the power of web search engine by identifying the web pages and classifying the web documents. Web mining is very useful to e-commerce websites and e-services. The challenges in web mining are: it poses great challenges for resources and knowledge discovery based on the following observations. The web is too huge. The size of the web is very huge and rapidly increasing. This seems that the web is too huge for data warehousing and data mining. Next, the complexity of web pages. The web pages do not have unifying structure. They are very complex as compared to traditional text document. There are huge amount of documents in digital library of web. These libraries are arranged according to any particular sorted order. Web is dynamic information source. Information on the web is rapidly updated. The data such as news, stock markets, weather, sports, shopping, etc. are regularly updated. Diversity of user communities. The user community on the web is rapidly expanding. These users have different backgrounds, interests and usage purposes. More than 100 million workstations are connected to the internet and are still rapidly increasing. And finally, relevancy of information. The particular person is generally interested in only small portion of the web, while the rest of the portion of the web contains the relevant information to the user and may swamp desired results. Now let us see about the three types of web mining. The first type is web content mining. Web content mining is used for mining useful data, information and knowledge from web page content. Web structure mining helps to find useful knowledge or information pattern from the structure of hyperlinks, and due to heterogeneity and absence of structure in web data, automated discovery of new knowledge pattern can be challenging to some extent. The web content mining performs scanning and mining of the text, images and groups of web pages according to the content of the input, that is, query, by displaying the list in search engines. For example, if a user wants to search for a particular book, then search engine provides a list of suggestions. The second type is web usage mining. The web usage mining is used for mining the weblog records, that is, access information of web pages, and helps to discover the user access patterns of web pages. The web server registers a weblog entry for every web page. Moreover, analysis of similarities in weblog records is useful to identify the potential customers for e-commerce companies. Some of the techniques to discover and analyze the web usage patterns are: first technique is session and visitor analysis. The analysis of pre-processed data performed in session analysis includes the record of visitors, days, sessions, etc. This information is used to analyze the behavior of the visitors. The report generated after this analysis contains the details of frequently visited web pages, commonly entry and exit. The next technique is OLAP, that is online analytical processing. The online analytical processing performs multidimensional analysis of complex data. It is performed on different parts of log related data in a certain interval of time. The OLAP tool used to derive the important business intelligence metrics. And the next type is web structure mining. The web structure mining is used to discover the link structure of hyperlink. It is used to identify that the web pages are linked either by information or by direct link connection. The purpose of structure mining is to produce the structural summary of website and similar web pages. For example, web structure mining can be very useful to companies to determine the connection between two commercial websites. Now, let us see about the basic structure of the web page. The basic structure of the web page is based on the document object model called as DOM. The DOM structure refers to a tree-like structure where the HTML tag in the page corresponds to the node in the DOM structure. We can segment the web page by using predefined tags in HTML. The HTML syntax is flexible, therefore, the web pages does not follow the W3C, that is Worldwide Consortium specifications. If not, following the specifications of W3C may cause error in DOM tree structure, and the DOM structure is initially introduced for presentation in the browser and not for description of semantic structure of the web page. The DOM structure cannot correctly identify the semantic relationship between the different parts of a web page. Hope you have understood. Now, let us see about vision-based page segmentation. Vision-based page segmentation has the purpose to extract the semantic structure of a web page based on its visual presentation. Such a semantic structure corresponds to a tree structure. In this tree, each node corresponds to a tree block. The value is assigned to each node. This value is called the degree of coherence. This value assigned is used to indicate the coherent content in the block based on visual perception. The VIPS algorithm first extracts all the suitable blocks from the HTML DOM tree. After that, it finds the separators between these blocks. The separators refer to the horizontal or vertical lines in a web page that visually cross with no blocks. The semantics of the web page constructed is based on these blocks. Now, let us see about the diagrammatic representation of VIPS algorithm. Web mining is a branch of data mining concentrating on the WWW called as World Wide Web as the primary data source, including all of its components from web content, server logs to everything in between. The contents of data mined from the web may be a collection of facts that web pages mean to contain, and these may consist of text, lists and tables, and even images, video and audio. Now, let us see about the categories of web mining. First, web content mining. It is the process of mining useful information from the contents of web pages and web documents, which are mostly text, images, audio or video files. These techniques are used in this discipline or drawn from natural language processing called as NLP and information retrieval called as IR. Web structure mining. It is the process of analyzing the nodes and connection structure of a website with graph theory. Two things that are obtained from this are the structure of a website in terms of how it is connected to other sites and the document structure of the website itself as to how each page is connected. Third, web usage mining. It is the process of extracting patterns and information from the server logs to gain insight on user activity, including whether the users clicked what type of item on the site and the types of activities done on the site. Now, let us see about the comparison of web mining types. In web content mining view of data, the IR view has structured and unstructured data, and the database view has semi-structured and website as database. In web structure mining view of data, it has link structure, and in web usage mining, the view of data is very interactive. And in main data, the web content mining IR view has text documents, hypertext documents, and in database view, it has hypertext documents. The main data of web structure mining has link structure. The main data of web usage mining has server logs, browser logs. In representation of IR view of web content mining, bags of words, n-gram terms, phrases, concepts or ontology, relational databases. And in database views, it has edge labeled graph and relational data. And in web structure mining, the data representation is a graph. And in web usage mining, the representation of data is relational table and a graph. And the methods in web structure mining are machine learning and statistical, including NLP, and in proprietary algorithms and associative rules on database. And in web structure mining, it has proprietary algorithms on methods. And in machine learning, statistical and association rules in usage mining. The application categories of web content mining are categorization, clustering, finding extract rules, and finding patterns in text in IR view. And in database view, finding the frequent substructures and website schema discovery. And in web content mining, it has categorization on clustering in application categories, and in web usage mining, it has site construction and adaptation and management. Now, let us look at the concept of web content mining. This is the process of mining useful information from the contents of web pages and web documents, which are mostly text, images, and audio or video files. The techniques used in this discipline are drawn from natural language processing called as NLP and information retrieval. The web content mining is used for mining of useful data, information, and knowledge from web page content. Web structure mining helps to find useful knowledge or information pattern from the structure of hyperlinks. Due to heterogeneity and absence of structure in web data, automated discovery of new knowledge pattern can be a challenging one to some extent. Web content mining performs scanning and mining of the text, images, and groups of web pages according to the content of the input called as query by displaying the list in search engines. For example, if a user wants to search for a particular book, then search engine provides the list of suggestions. Now, let us have a look of web content mining techniques. Web content mining uses different techniques to dig data. Mostly in web contents, data is in unstructured text form. For extraction of unstructured data, web content mining requires text mining and data mining approaches. Text documents are related to text mining, machine learning, and natural language. The main purpose of text mining is to extract previous information from content source. Text mining is a part of web content mining, and hence different techniques are used to text data mining to provide unknown data. Some of them are information extraction, summarization, information visualization, that is topic tracking, categorization, and clustering. Now let us have a look on structured mining. Structured mining is a technique that mines structured data on the web. Structured data mining represents a host page on the web. Compared to unstructured, in the structured data mining, it is always easy to extract data. There are some of the techniques used for structured data mining. They are web crawler, page content mining, wrapper generation. Semi-structured is a form of structured data but not full text. In semi-structured data is grammatical. Its structure is hierarchical, not predefined. Representation of semi-structured data is in form of tags such as HTML and XML. HTML is an intra-document structure case. Techniques used to extract semi-structured data are OEM, called as Object Exchange Model, Web Data Extraction Language, and Top-Down Extraction. Traditionally, computing data was considered as text and numbers, but nowadays there are different computing data types of multimedia data like videos, images, and audios. This mining is used for extracting interesting multimedia data sets and converted data set types into digital media. The technique used for multimedia data mining are multimedia miner, short boundary deduction, skycat, color histogram matching. Now let us have a look on web content mining algorithms. Support vector machine. Support vector machine is a well-known and simple machine learning and classification algorithm. SVM is a method that is used for linear and nonlinear data sets. Optimal separating hyperactive plane, that is decision boundary, is just a line that is used to separate the two classes depending on the different classification features. Neural network is another web content mining approach which uses backpropagation algorithm. It consists of multi-layers, that is input layers, some hidden layers and the output layer. Each feeds the next layer till the last layer called the output. Neuron is the basic unit of the neural network. Inputs are fed simultaneously to units. From input layer, inputs are simultaneously fed into the hidden layer. Usually, there is one hidden layer, but numbers of hidden layers are arbitrary. Last hidden layer feed the input and make up the output layer. Now, let us look into web structure mining. Web structure mining uses graph theory to analyze the node and connection structure of a website. According to the type of web structural data, web structure mining is divided into two kinds. The first type is extracting patterns from hyperlinks in the web, that is, a hyperlink is a structural component that connects the web page to a different location. The second kind is mining the document structure, analysis of the tree-like structure of page structures to describe HTML or XML tag usage. Now, let us have a look on web structure mining technology. Web graph. It represents a directed graph, and then the node, it represents a web page in graph. Edge, it represents the hyperlinks. In degree, it represents the number of links pointing to particular node, and out degree, it represents the number of links generated from particular node. This is the process of analyzing the nodes and connection structure of a website with graph theory. Two things obtained from this are the structure of a website in terms of how it is connected to other sites, and the document structure of the website itself as to how each page is connected. The web structure mining is used to discover the link structure of hyperlink. It is used to identify that the web page is linked by either information or direct link connection. The purpose of structure mining is to produce the structural summary of website and similar web pages. Example, web structure mining can be very useful to companies to determine the connection between two commercial websites. Let's now have a look on web usage mining. Web usage mining is the application of data mining techniques to discover interesting usage patterns from web data in order to understand and better serve the needs of web-based applications. Usage data captures the identity or origin of web users along with their browsing behavior at a website. However, web usage mining itself is classified further depending on the kind of usage data considered. Web server data. The user logs collected by the web server. Typical data includes IP address, page reference and access time. Second, application server data. Commercial application servers have significant features to enable e-commerce applications to build on top of them with little effort. A key feature is the ability to track various kinds of business events and log them in application server logs. Application level data. New kinds of events defined in an application and logging turned on for them, thus generating histories of them, specially defined events. Many end applications require a combination of one or more of the techniques applied in the categories above. Process of extracting patterns and information from server logs to gain insight on user activity, including where the users are from, how many clicked, what item on the site and the types of activities done on the site. Web usage mining used for mining the weblog records, that is access information of web pages, and helps to discover the user access patterns of web pages. That is, web server registers a web log entry for every web page. Analysis of similarities in weblog records can be useful to identify the potential customers for e-commerce companies. Now, let us have a look on web usage mining techniques. Data pre-processing. Data pre-processing is a mining technique that integrates databases and make raw data understandable and consistent. Data pre-processing includes methods like those that the data cleaning, user and session identification are described as follows. In data mining, it is not only important for usage mining but also important for other analysis techniques as well. The purpose is to remove irrelevant and no needed information from the logs. Graphics and videos needs to remove from web logs as they are unnecessary for usage mining. When user requests for a web server for a particular web page, multiple entries are stored in log file. Those records that are not useful for usage mining should be removed. User and session identification techniques are used to find user sessions for access log file. After data cleaning, next step is to identify users. Different approaches are used for user identification like user login information, cookies to detect visitors with unique ID for specific web page. Session identification is to know number of pages visited by a single user in a row on one visit to a website. Session is a set of web page visited by users. New IP means new user. The difficult step is when proxy server is used, same IP addresses is used for different users in log file. The referrer method suggested as a solution to this problem has different IP indicates new users. If IPs are same, then different browsers or the operating system can identify new users. If OS, IP and browsers are same, it then referrer approach considers URL account information. If account in URL not accessed before, it will consider it as a new user. Hope you would have understood. Now let us see about pattern discovery. After data cleaning and user identification, some web usage pattern discovery techniques used to discover interesting patterns. Main difficult task is to discover patterns produced by pre-processing section and extract information knowledge. Pattern discovery techniques are described as follows. First, statistical analysis. It is a powerful technique used for extracting knowledge about web page visitors. Next, analysts perform to describe statistical analysis on session log while analyzing using different variables. Moreover, knowledge obtained by statistical analyzing result may help to improve performance and enhance the system security as well as marketing strategies. Frequency, median and mode are three statistical analyses used mostly on sessions to show length of page, recently accessed pages and view time. Association rule is one of the basic rules of data mining and is mostly used in web page mining. Association rule is one of the basic rules of data mining and it is mostly used in web usage mining. Association rule helps to find correlations between web pages that appears in a user session repeatedly. The rule describes the relationship between pages visited one after another by user at a time of his visit session. The rule X tends to Y indicates that where X and Y are pages, stating that items belong to transaction includes in page X also contain in page Y. Rule format shown as x.html, y.html tends to z.html. Now let us look about pattern analysis. Pattern analysis considered as a last and final step of usage mining. In this, all relevant rules or patterns discovered in above phrases separated and interesting or relevant rules or patterns extracted. This improves the system performances. Following are the approaches used for pattern analysis. SQL. SQL stands for Structured Query Language and it is used to extract useful information from patterns discovered. After the pattern discovery, data are received into OLAP phase. In this phase, data is stored in data cube, that is multidimensional database format, and online analytical processing operation, that is roll-up, is performed. In OLAP measure, terms refers to dimensions, that is tables. An agent can be defined as an assistant that can help to perform some tasks on behalf of user. An intelligent agent can sense receiving element, recognize them and determines which task should be performed. In usage mining, agents analysis the pattern that discovered at previously phases. Some of the techniques to discover and analyze the web usage patterns are: first, session and visitor analysis. The analysis of pre-processed data performed in session analysis includes the record of visitors, days and sessions. This information used to analyze the behavior of visitors. The report generated after this analysis contains the details of frequently visited web pages, commonly entry and exit. Second, online analytical processing called as OLAP. OLAP performs multidimensional analysis of complex data. It performs different parts of log related data in a certain interval of time, and the OLAP tool used to derive the important business intelligence metrics. Now let us see about web usage mining tools. The web usage mining tools Speed Tracer is an analysis tool used for usage mining. It helps to discover user surfing behavior and analyze with entries stored in server logs by using different data mining techniques. Cookies are not required for identifying user session. Speed Tracer used different kind for information like IP address, URL of page and agent. Collection of browsing patterns helps to understand users' behavior in a better manner. The Speed Tracer generates three types of understanding. They are user based, which refers to user access time duration. Path based relates to process of frequently visited path in web. And group based generates information of repeatedly visited groups of web pages. Now let us see the conclusion. Web mining is the process of using data mining techniques and algorithms to extract information directly from the web by extracting it from web documents and services, web content, hyperlinks and server logs. The goal of web mining is to look for patterns in web data by collecting and analyzing information in order to gain insight into trends, the industry and users in general. Web mining is an application of data mining techniques to find information patterns from the web data. Web mining helps to improve the power of web search engine by identifying the web pages and classifying the web documents. It is also very useful to e-commerce websites and e-services. Web mining is a branch of data mining concentrating on the World Wide Web as a primary component for web components, server logs to everything in between. The contents of data mined from the web may be a collection of facts that web pages are meant to contain, and these may consist of text, structured data such as lists and tables, and even images, videos and audio. Thank you, learners.